Hi, I'm Joe Saunders with Miniature Landscape Hobbies, and in this episode, we're going to look at how to paint crew-served artillery and anti-tank guns in 15 millimeter. For the 15 millimeter model painting, the crew-served gun, whether it's an anti-tank gun or an artillery piece, offers a bit of a challenge for the model builder and painter. This is because these models usually incorporate both elements of infantry painting and armor painting, armor for the gun itself and infantry painting for the crew. Moreover, these pieces often come on fairly large bases, so the bases provide additional opportunity to unpack your skills at both landscaping and terrain building.
In this video, I'm going to cover my method for crew-served weapons and show you how to prepare these models to a passable standard for the tabletop. Here I'm going to focus primarily on the gun and basing itself. I'll do a separate video on crew later. However, crew are essentially just infantry, only they're often in slightly different poses. So you can refer to any of my infantry painting videos to get the basics down. So, let's get to it. As always, I start by priming the models. When you're working with plastic models, do make sure you take a spare piece of sprue first and spray it down with your primer before you put it on your models. This is because sometimes some types of spray paints will destroy your plastic, and you don't really want to do that. By spraying it on the sprue, though, you'll be safe. It's made of exactly the same plastic, and if you don't get melty bits, you'll be just fine spraying it on your model. Once that's done, I also cut the crew figures off the sprue and hot glue them to a piece of wood. This will hold them and make it easier for painting when it comes to the crew, and will allow you to prime these as well. Now I move on to the guns themselves, and in this case I'm demonstrating on some Russian 57mm guns, but obviously you could change your color to match the subject. And here I start by getting out some olive green, load up my airbrush, and give each of the guns a quick coat. Now I go on to building a midtone, and I mix up a batch of olive green again, but this time as a 50-50 mix with Vallejo sand. I load it into my airbrush and spray it towards the outside of the armor plates and the upper surfaces of the gun where it might more directly reflect the light. When this is complete, I let this dry, then I go ahead and get out some Iraqi sand by Vallejo and go ahead and dry brush over the gun itself. This just brings out some of the more sharper highlights. Now it's time to do the chipping. This is so that the guns don't look like they're factory fresh and resemble something that's been in the field for a while. I start again with Iraqi sand, but I mix some ivory paint into it to make it look just a little bit brighter. Then I go in and paint some scratches and some chips onto the surface of the guns themselves using a fine brush. When this has had a chance to dry, I get out a couple rust colors, in this case Vallejo Hall Red and Vallejo Light Rust, and take out an even finer brush and go ahead and paint some dots and chips into the middle of the lighter areas. This implies some depth. When that's done, the gun's looking pretty good, but it needs some shading. So I give it a quick coat of satin varnish, and then I move on to shading it with my enamels. I get out my enamel dark wash for NATO green vehicles, and thin it down slightly with some white spirits, and go ahead with a fine brush and target the areas that should have some depth and some shadow. I use the point of the brush to deposit the wash right into the crevices. Now I can turn my attention to the tires, and this is really simple. All I do is paint them German dark gray. They don't really need any weathering or highlighting because they're going to sit flush on a base that's going to be dry brushed anyways. When the tires are dry, then I can go on to weather the armor on the guns itself. I start with streaking rust by painting it on in runs, moving away from the chips, and then I get out some crusted rust, which is a reddy pink thick drying enamel, which I paint into some of the deeper crevices. When these enamel products have had 5 or 10 minutes to dry, I get out some white spirits and a broad square-ended brush, and using it just slightly moist with white spirits, I go in and blend the enamels out. This pretty much finishes up the guns themselves and gets me to the point where I'm ready to start working on the bases. So, having painted the crew previously, I take them, cut them off their painting base, line them up on the base alongside the gun, make sure I have them posed in the spots where I like them, and then I go ahead and glue them into place with super glue. I use super glue because I've got 2 different grades of plastic. Battlefront often produces its crew in a soft plastic, which won't bond to the base with regular plastic glue. At this point in time, I also go ahead and glue down the plugs for the base for any positions on the base that aren't filled with crew. When that's done, I can start thinking about applying the grit, and I'm going to use the rubbing alcohol method. I start by putting some black acrylic paint in a dish, and in a different cup, pour out some rubbing alcohol and add a little black ink to it. Now that I've got this prepared, I grab some Mod Podge, although you could use white glue if you'd rather, mix it in with the acrylic paint, maybe add a little water to it to water it down a bit, and then go ahead with a ratty brush. I apply the black paint and white glue or Mod Podge mixture to the base itself. Once I have this painted down, I then take out a mix of about 80% sand to about 20% kitty litter and sprinkle it all over the glue. While the glue is still wet, I then go back to my rubbing alcohol mixture and using a pipette deposit it over the base. I let it soak in pretty good. Then going back to the original mixture of Mod Podge and black acrylic paint, I add a little more water to it so it flows better, and go ahead and lay that down over top of the rubbing alcohol using the same pipette. The purpose of the rubbing alcohol is to break the surface tension on the glue so that it gives a really good coating over the whole base. With this done, I leave this to dry overnight. At this point, the project really has more in common with terrain building than model painting, so I get out some dark brown acrylic paint and go ahead and dry brush it over the base. When this is dry, then I move on to a tan color acrylic paint, give it a slightly lighter dry brush, put it on, and then finally move to an off-white. This will create plenty of depth and realism in the base itself. I always use the same color so it matches my terrain spread, but of course you can vary them as you see fit. With this done, I go back to the original dark brown and give it 2 coats around the rim of each base. I try to keep this smooth and layered on fairly opaquely. The model's now basically finished and just ready for whatever form of landscaping you want to put on the base. I use a little static grass, some lichens here and there, and some grass clumps. You can use whatever you have in your bits box, or you can just leave them plain if you'd rather. I like to vary the colors a little bit, again so that it matches my model spread. Now all you need to do is give the model a couple quick coats of matte varnish just to make sure everything is held in place and is protected from the wear and tear of gaming. And with that, the project is done. Now I have some crew serve weapons that look great on the table. They might not win any awards, but they'll certainly look excellent alongside my other troops for my Wargaming spread. The basing creates a lot of texture, and the different colors and weathering really enhances the model's visual interest. Please stay tuned for new content twice weekly on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Miniature Landscape Hobbies is your source for model building, miniature painting, and diorama content. If you've not yet subscribed, make sure you do, and press the bell button to receive immediate notification so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember to keep building life in miniature.